Hey everyone, so today we're going to go over how to make quality vinyl rips to CD, so CD rips of vinyl records using a 2001 Sony RCD-W1 dual disc CD recorder. We are going to pretty much just focus on recording vinyl or an outside audio source to a CDR using the recordable deck on this, the CD burner deck. So the CD burner deck is this right side deck, and then the standard just player deck is this one here. One of the neat features about this deck, I don't have a setup that can utilize it or any kind of a scenario that I would need it for, is there's actually dual optical and analog outputs on this device, so you can actually play both of these different decks with different CDs in them to different amplifiers and basically have these simultaneously playing. So again, we're mostly going to be reviewing and going over ripping vinyl directly to a CD. So there's obviously going to be no audio quality enhancements, getting rid of clicks or surface noise. It's going to be a direct rip from vinyl to CD. Printed out the whole instruction manual. I will post the link to Sony's website for the operator's manual for anybody that's interested. So before we actually get into the process of recording here, one of the first things that I ran into with this deck was I actually thought the recorder was broken. What I was running into, we will mimic it here, is I have some regular CDRs, okay? I was like, okay, so I got this recorder here. So I'm gonna put, one of my CDRs in here, in the burner tray. I'm gonna put it in here. It's gonna load up. This is something I feel like most people run into with this unit, and it's very confusing. So if you can see, I know it's a little bit fuzzy, it says CDR up there. So it says we have a CDR loaded here. Shows that there's no tracks, no time. So to me, this is telling me that, hey, you got a blank CDR in here. So the first thing you're supposed to do is there's a record button on this. This record button does not initiate recording. What it does is it puts the player in this deck into recording mode. So when I press this, it's going to check that CD, make sure that it can record to it. Then it's going to check if there is anything hooked up to the inputs on the back, either the digital input for deck B or the analog input for deck B. So we're going to press that button now and you're going to see what happens. We instantly get no audio. So to me, when I first bought this unit, I'm like, no audio means obviously it's not getting any audio through the input. So there's something wrong either with my connections, which I verified real quick there wasn't, or there's just something wrong with the inputs on this device. So anyways, what it really comes down to is this is a false error in my opinion. The issue is not that there is no audio input, it's that your CDR is not a supported CDR for this burner. It's not going to be able to burn anything onto it. All right, so as far as discs that are compatible with this unit, it is described within the instructions manual or the operator's manual that I will have linked to the Sony website for you to download within the description of this video. I know this is a little bit fuzzy. So the recorder can use the following discs and only these discs. So it either has to have a compact disc digital audio logo on it, a compact disc digital audio recordable logo on it, or a compact disc digital audio recordable rewritable. This is very important because again, if you put in the wrong disc, this isn't going to tell you that it has no audio, and that's not really the problem. It's really that it's not a supported disc. I do have these verbatim CDRWs. These CDRWs do have the compact disc logo on them. They do not work in this player. The only thing that I can think of from what I've read and understood is the reason these don't play in here is the actual box itself does not say CDRW music or CDR music, because I bought this same brand verbatims. I threw away the wrapper on it, but I bought regular CDRs, and these ones, you can see right there, say music CDR with the compact disc logo. So I really think you need this combination. I think you needed to say music CDR and the compact disc logo, rewritable logo. So we do have one of these discs here, so now we're going to start getting into things here. We are going to put a compatible CDR with the compact disc logo on it labeled music CDR. into the player. It is doing the table of contents. It finds that there's nothing there. So what we're going to press now is the record button. Again, this is not initiating recording. This is putting this deck and this player into recording mode. You're going to see it go busy. Now there is one thing, we are going to have to redo this. I am accidentally on my optical input. One thing is, when you get into recording mode, I found that you cannot switch the inputs. The only way I found out of this, turn it off, turn it on. We're going to let it load up again, and then we're going to select the correct input. It always, even if you turn off the unit while you have it on the analog input for the disc burner, when you turn it back on, it ends up back on optical. Okay. So now we're on analog. So now we're going to initiate into recording mode. All right. So once you see that right there, what does it look like? It says TOC in a flashing recording mode. It is now ready to start recording. The way that we initiate the recording is we press the play button. That will start recording track 1. Now, you're probably wondering, well, how do we separate the tracks? So our vinyl is going to keep playing. It's going to play through track 1. Then it's going to have a little bit of a break, and then it's going to go into track 2. So this is a manual process here. When track 1 ends, we hit the record button real quick, and it's going to finish track 1 and start recording track 2. So again, right when you hit the silence between tracks on your vinyl, you hit the record button here, it is going to start recording the next track. So it is a timing thing. You walk away while you're recording, you could miss a track, and then your track list is kind of messed up. Not only that, when it hits the end of a side of a record, you obviously have to hit stop or pause over here. Now you can do that at any time. I know I'm going into detail here, but I want to make sure I don't leave anything out. When you click pause or stop, it will stop the recording completely. And then you can initiate back into recording mode by hitting record again. You get that busy, gets back in there, and it's going to show, like if you recorded 3 tracks on this side of the record, you had to stop the record, so you hit stop or pause, then you initiate it back into recording mode, it's going to start out on track 4 because 4 is going to be the new track that you are starting to record. So the first thing I'm going to do is get my player started up. This is a 45, so I want to make sure I have it on the right speed. What I'm going to do so we don't get a needle drop is I'm going to bring this down. That is good. Oh, now before you start going, in fact, what we're going to do is we're going to lift this up. This is actually an important note. Every vinyl record, or most vinyl records, are going to be, the volume is either going to be lower or higher. What I recommend is turn on your album in a loud part. Look at the EQ here. You have a recording level right here. What you want, or what I believe you would want, is see how we're hitting the top of the EQ. We're hitting the red a little bit, which is the over. I'm going to try to turn this just a little bit down to where hopefully we only see, hit the red here and there. But yeah, you want to level out your EQ. You don't want this way down, and you don't want this all the way up where it's always hitting over that. It's going to be real loud on your speakers, or it's going to be real low. So what I'm going to do over here, I'm going to initiate recording by pressing the play button. Again, we initiate it into recording mode by clicking the recording mode initially, which got us here where we're ready to record track 1. So all we have to do is press play. So we're going to click play right here. You're going to see it start recording, and then we are going to start the record. So as you can see, we got some surface noise coming through there. And once it hits the end of track 1, when I hear it end, I'm going to quickly press the record button again, and that is going to start recording track 2. All right, so we're approaching the end of track 1. So we're getting towards the end. I'm listening. Hopefully the camera's not picking it up. All right, that was our track break. We're on track 2. All right, track 3. All right, so we are approaching the end of this side of this record. So we're going to get down here. We're going to prepare to press stop once it stops. Okay, so we press stop. It's telling us it's busy. Update. There we go. So we got 3 tracks, 11 minutes, 48 seconds. Stop this. We'll flip this over. So we're going to get our needle on there first. So we're going to do a very similar process for the second side. We're going to get back down here. So since we hit stop, we have exited recording mode. So we need to enter that again. So we're going to press the record button. All right, so you can see now we're starting on recording track 4. We recorded 3 tracks off of side A. So now we're ready to record side B. So again, what we're going to do is I like to hit record on here before I start the record. So we're going to hit record. Oh, wait, my bad. That was a little fumble. We are already in recording mode. To initiate the recording, we press the play button. Then we're going to start our record. All right, we're right at the end of the album. I had to change my battery real quick, just barely made it. Looks like it had just finished. Sorry, I'm checking to make sure I'm recording. All right, so we're going to click stop here. All right, so we are done recording side B of the record. So we're going to pull this up. Going to stop it, close all that up. So again, when that had finished on side B, we click the stop button. So if I was to take this disc now and I'm going to pop it out of here, I'm going to put it in this other tray over here. So this is not a CD burner tray. Let me move my camera up a little bit. And I put it in here. Since I did not finalize this, it is not going to be able to read or play this disc. Right now, TOC is table of contents, so it's trying to pull a table of contents, but since this CDR is not finalized, we're eventually going to get a disk error. So what you want to do is put this back into the CD burner tray. I don't remember if we have to go back into recording mode for this, so we're just going to try finalize without doing that first. Okay, so while it's flashing, I'm going to let this finish. So if you don't do anything right now, you just let it flash after you press finalize, nothing happened. It did not finalize the disk. All right, so to finalize the disk, what you want to do is you want to click the finalize button. And while finalize is flashing, you want to click the play button to initialize the finalization process. So now we're going to see it's doing a table of contents right. And then we're going to get a little countdown here, which is about a minute on this disk. I've noticed that it varies per disk. All right, so now we're about finished here. All right, finalization is complete. So we have our CD here. It is 6 tracks, 23 minutes, 37 seconds long. Now that this disc is finalized, we can pop it out of our burner. We can put it into any other CD player that plays CDR CDs. We can put it in there. It's going to read the table of contents for us. And there we go. 6 tracks with our 23 minutes, 37 seconds. We click play, volume is down. You can see that it starts playing there. We can fast forward a little bit. You can see the EQ going. So that is our record that we just recorded onto the CD here. We can skip through all of our tracks, obviously. And there you go. That is the process that I have created or solidified for myself to record my vinyl directly to a CD with having tracks to skip through. Again, that's part of a manual process. I've seen other videos where people went over a bit of the recording process, mostly with recording from a CD to a CD, and that's nice. But for me, the best use of this burner is from vinyl to a CD. Again, I've done this a couple times already. I have a couple albums on CD that I did this past week. When I play them in my regular CD players, they sound fantastic to me. They sound very, very similar, almost pretty much identical to the actual vinyl record to me. You have the hisses, you have the pops, you have all that stuff in there. We're not cleaning that up. But I don't really care. Still sounds great to me. So hopefully people found this helpful. Please like and subscribe. Definitely helps out the channel and also motivates me to make other hopefully useful videos like this for the audio video community. Thank you for watching.